And Debbie.
Hey everybody!
Hello. I did not realize Julian hit the button to go live.
So, I hit him to let him know I was going live. Yeah. But here we are.
Yeah. So it's triumphant return of Jillian.
It's Will and Jillian tonight. I stepped in last minute. Dawn is still in the car with Kylie and Jeff on the way home from Disney World. They made a kind of
bit of an impromptu trip, though. We'll hear more about it next week.
They made a super quick trip. So if you haven't, they went live from Magic Kingdom yesterday. So that video is already on our channel. They did like a 2.5 hour stream. They rode the People Mover and some stuff like that. If you can hear us and see us, let us know too, because we're using my brand new MacBook. So Will doesn't like Apple products, so he's really skeptical of my MacBook working.
Yeah, let us know how everything looks and sounds.
Even if it looks bad and sounds bad, just say it's good.
So welcome in, Dean the Turkey Lexter. Great to see you, Dean. Francisco, Jillian said, that's fun to say.
Francisco, that's fun to say.
Debbie Burnfield, welcome in. Let's see here. All right. Yes, I see and hear you. It is good. Thank you, Debbie. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get started with a little bit of this day in Disney history. 1879. On this day in Disney history, Joel Chandler Harris publishes the story of Mr. Rabbit and Mr. Fox as told by Uncle Remus in the Atlanta Constitution. It is the first of 34 plantation fables that will turn into Uncle Remus's hit songs and his sayings in 1880. The stories, mostly collected from the African-American oral storytelling tradition, are revolutionary in their use of dialect, animal personage, and serialized landscape. In 1946, Disney will produce a film based on the Uncle Remus tales called Song of the South, which obviously we've got Splash Mountain as well. Let's see here. 1890, actress Verna Felton, best known for providing many female voices in numerous Disney animated films, as well as voicing Fred Flintstone's mother-in-law, Pearl Slaghoople, for Hanna-Barbera, is born in Salinas, California. Starting her career on stage and in radio, Felton's distinctive husky voice and no-nonsense attitude helped her become one of the premier characters and actresses in film and television. Fans of I Love Lucy may recall Felton for her guest appearance in 1953. Her son, actor Lee Miller, provided the voice of Jim Deere in Lady and the Tramp. So let's see. So that is actress Verna Felton. 1900, Sylvia Holland, a concept artist, illustrator, and the second woman to become a storyboard artist for Walt Disney Productions, is born in Hampshire, England. Hired by Disney in September 1938, she went on to make contributions to the Pastoral Symphony segment of Fantasia in 1940, the Little April Shower sequence for the 1942 Bambi Victory Through Air Power 1943, and the short How to Play Baseball 1942. So that is Sylvia Holland, the second woman to become a storyboard artist for Walt Disney Productions. 1920, animator Dick N. Lucas is born in Los Angeles, California. As a character animator, writer, and effects animator, his credits include Winnie the Pooh and the Honey Tree, The Aristocats, The Rescuers, Sleeping Beauty, 101 Dalmatians, The Jungle Book, and Fox and the Hound. Animator Dick N. Lucas was born in 1920. 1923, journalist turned publicist and Disney legend Charlie Ridgway is born in Chicago, Illinois. As a news reporter, he wrote some of the first articles about Disneyland before and after its opening. Ridgway was at the park's grand debut. Starting as an employee in 1963, he helped promote more than 150 major press events for Disney theme parks. In his 2007, his book entitled Spinning Disney's World was published. 1924, animator and story artist Tex Henson is born in Dallas, Texas. Beginning his career in Disney in 1944, he is credited with having named Disney's Chip and Dale, the Chipmunk duo. Henson worked on such films such as Song of the South, Pecos Bill, Mickey and the Beanstalk, and Peter and the Wolf.
On another note, what a great Dallas, Texas name.
Yes, Tex
Henson.
Oh, that's
Could
awesome.
that be any more Texan?
Yeah, that's fantastic. Let's see here. Scrolling the news real quick. So yeah, just as a reminder, we use a site called thisdayindisneyhistory.com. So if you wanted to go look up your birthday,
pretty great.
Yeah, you could go pick any day of the year and it'll tell you what happened on this day.
I'll do 1951, the 101st Donald Duck cartoon. The Donald Duck short Lucky Number is released, directed by Jack Hanna. Donald wins a car from a sweepstakes ticket, but trouble starts when Huey, Dewey, and Louie decide to pick it up for him. So that is the 101st Donald Duck cartoon. So that's interesting, the 101st. And then 1955, the Tomorrowland Boats, later named the Phantom Boats, debuted at Disneyland's Tomorrowland Lagoon. The attraction featured 14 brightly painted gas-powered fiberglass boats. Poor mechanical design caused the ride to be the park's first permanent attraction to close.
Wow.
That's interesting.
I didn't even know they had, let's see, the Tomorrowland boats.
I guess it's like Disney World. Tomorrowland Disney World has like the Speedway. They had Tomorrowland boats. I guess that would be kind of their. I'll do 1969, actually, because it lines up with something that happened today. So 1969, the historic Apollo 11 moon landing is televised on Disneyland's Tomorrowland stage. Neil Armstrong, who in July 2005 will take part in the reopening of Disneyland Space Mountain, becomes the very first human to set foot on the moon. And in case you didn't know, today, who is it? Jeff Bezos?
Yeah.
And there is a lady on that space shuttle that will be going into space that launched today, who is actually from Grapevine, Texas. And some of you may know, but I teach in the Grapevine Colleyville school district system. So her name is Wally. Yes, her name is Wally. She's like, I believe she's 90 or 91 years old. And she has stopped by our schools before to hand out information about space, because she's been into space before. So this isn't her first time going into space, but it is her first time going with Jeff Bezos. So that is super cool. So that one lined up with today. So Apollo 11 in 1969. Super cool.
Yeah. So yeah, welcome in. I see Daniel Disinfinity. Welcome in.
Hey everyone.
Garrett.
Sorry, we're like trying to do this and read and write. Yeah. It's a lot happening.
So yeah, hi Garrett and Michelle and Gabe and Hannah, Monarch Moments. Check them out, our partner channel. AJC Magic TV, Amy, great to see you. Eric Lee, Ford Man, aka Kenneth Oakes, and Jeff and Angela and family. This is our dream. Hey everybody, hope you're having a great week.
So back to some of our today in Walt Disney World news history or Walt Disney history. This one is super fascinating, and I want to know how I get a plaque for doing this.
Yes.
But in 1985, 7-year-old Virgil Waits Jr. of Virginia becomes the 200th guest at Walt Disney World, and he was presented with a plaque. Okay, so I don't know how they keep up with that.
Crazy, 200 millionth guest.
But
I don't know how they keep track. That's insane.
Super weird. But I kind of wish like I could have a plaque for being like the 7th billionth person in. I don't know. That's kind of funny. But that was in what, 1985?
Yeah, 1985. 200 millionth.
Cute little 7-year-old has a plaque.
That's amazing. Hopefully he still has it, or somebody in the family.
I'm guessing they already have to have those like pre-made too.
And a lifetime Disney pass for the family. Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh yeah, I see that. Yeah, I guess he gets like, I guess they already have those made, and then congratulations, you walked through the turnstile. Here's your plaque.
On this day in 2000, artist, author, and illustrator Evan Earl, known for his beautiful background paintings for such Disney animated films such as The Sleeping Beauty, Peter Pan, and Lady and the Tramp, passes away at 84. He also created the look of the Academy Award-winning Toot, Whistle, Plunk, and Bloom, and designed 5 murals for Disneyland. So it's even to Earl. Although much of his work was not exhibited in his lifetime, today such museums as the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York and the RAR West Art Museum in Wisconsin have purchased Earl's early works for their permanent collections. Let's see. Okay, 2005. It's been a long time since we watched this show, but 2005,
it really has.
Actress Allison Fernandez is born in Brooklyn, New York. She is best known for her role in ABC TV's Once Upon a Time as the character Lucy.
I couldn't
tell you who that was, honestly.
I couldn't even tell you who that was, to be honest. Actually, it's funny, when Will proposed to me, he had like a gift bag of stuff. And I was already a little bit suspicious of what was going on. But one of the things he got me was season 1?
I can't remember. Was it season 1?
I think it was season 1 of Once Upon a Time. But now they're probably all on.
Oh, I think
at least Disney Plus. Disney Plus or Hulu or Netflix, depending on who has the rights to them currently. But honestly, I stopped watching when they started doing some weird stuff after Frozen. So I don't know how you guys feel about Once Upon a Time, but
let us know in the chat if you've watched you watched Once Upon a Time on ABC.
I feel like once they took away Snow White's Snow Whiteness, she kind of had a spell there where she wanted to be evil. That's when I was like, I'm out. I'm done watching. Yeah. It's not very Snow White-like. Yeah. So,
that is strange.
It was very weird, but I don't even remember who Lucy is. So if you know who Lucy is, let us know if you've watched Once Upon a Time on ABC.
Yeah. All right. So let's see here. That wraps up this day in Disney history. And so did you want to go ahead and mention the book?
Yeah. So I know everyone probably knows what little golden books are. I mean, I grew up with them. Will has a ton, actually. I know he does. We've gotten some for Wyatt. So we pre-ordered this one on Amazon. So it actually is so big it had a pre-order. So we are super excited that we have this, and we look forward to getting the other two that are in this series. But this one is the Haunted Mansion Golden Book, and I kind of got it for myself and Will got it, but we got it on Amazon. I'm sure you can find it in other places as well, but it is super cute. I'll show you some of the illustrations. I'll kind of just, I'm not going to spoil it in case you want to buy it, but look at how cute those illustrations are. So it's kind of...
It's really impressive, honestly.
It's super impressive.
How they handled the story and came up with crafted a story related to the Haunted Mansion. And basically how they went about it, I think, was really creative. Yeah. And that, it's, by nature, ghosts and things like that are scary. And so they did a really good job, animating it to where the characters are like the ghosts aren't like too scary,
So this one is the Disneyland Haunted Mansion. You can see right there. It's pretty much these 4 friends are at Disneyland, and these 3 friends dare this one friend to go into the Haunted Mansion alone. And it literally is your journey through the Haunted Mansion. So it shows you like the stretching room, the portraits on the wall, and it even says, "Welcome, foolish mortal, to the Haunted Mansion. I am your ghost host." So stuff like that. So it literally has some of the phrases from the ride. Yeah,
plugged straight from the ride.
Wyatt, my mom was like, "Oh, get a ghost story to read your 2.5-year-old before bed." But Wyatt is honestly obsessed with it. So I think we read it like 2 or 3 times the first night that we got it. And then we look forward to getting, you can see up here, the Jungle Cruise. And I'm assuming it probably has the same concept. And then It's a Small World. So I'm going to assume that the other ones, I don't know because we haven't read them yet, but like Raya is on here, The Nightmare Before Christmas.
We have Finding Nemo, don't we?
We have Finding Nemo.
There's also Star Wars books as well.
Yeah. The Star Wars books are what kind of started us on getting all these for Wyatt. We got him The Mandalorian.
Yeah, the Mandalorian one is really cute. Also, another example
Weird
of
topic
creativity
for a kid.
Yeah, I was going to say you've got a book about a bounty hunter, and yet they do such a great job of crafting the narrative of the story to where he's not just a guy that's out killing people for credits.
Again, super cute. The illustrations are amazing. I know a friend who has the Jungle Cruise in Small World, so I'm gonna assume it's probably around the same concept of like the ride, you going through the ride. Which now we'll talk a little bit about Jungle Cruise, but with them changing some of the stuff in Jungle Cruise, it would be pretty cool to have like an actual book written out of the original story of Jungle Cruise. So just wanted to drop that in since, I guess it has something to do with our channel. Just a little something.
Just a little bit.
So again, Wyatt's a little over 2.5 and he loves it. Not scared by it at all.
Yeah, he asked to read it.
He asked to read it. So I would check it out. Amazon is where we got it. So
yeah, welcome in. I see Stacy and Jonathan Chong and Tina McNeil. Great to see y'all. We already walked through this day in Disney history. Jillian showed us the Haunted Mansion book. Like we mentioned, they have Star Wars book 2. I think they have all the movies in book form, plus the Mandalorian. There's one called I'm a Droid. That's really
cute. We
have
the droid one. There's one that's like there's a book for Chewbacca. What's Chewie?
Something about a Wookiee.
It's like I'm a Wookiee or something like that. So it kind of walks you through like what a Wookiee is and what they do. So if you want to start your kids early, I guess the Golden Books is a good way to do that. But it's exciting because we're taking Wyatt to Disney World for his birthday. So now I'm going to ride the Haunted Mansion. And we're like, okay, that's what you think now. But we're going to put him on the ride anyway and tell him it's in his book. So
it's a rite of passage. You have to terrify your kid with the Haunted Mansion while they're young.
I'm hoping that since he's read the book, maybe he'll be okay with it. Maybe. I don't know. He also has watched the movie with Eddie Murphy. Don't judge me. He's asked for it. So maybe we'll get lucky and he'll love the Haunted Mansion ride.
All right. Let's see. Do we want to go ahead and hop into Loki?
All
right. So just right off the bat, this is a spoiler warning. So if you haven't watched Loki, we don't want to give anything away. But we're discussing the series in its entirety. The sixth episode, and it was the season finale, came out last Wednesday. So this is your final warning.
Final warning.
If you don't want any Loki spoilers,
or if you want to know about it before you watch it and spoil the whole thing, then keep rolling.
There you go. Tina says books are a good way to read to your kids. Reading to them helps them learn to read, and it's also great bonding. Absolutely.
Were you a teacher or like did you do something like that? Because so it's funny. I am in the education field, but I can tell you one thing: I hated school. So it's really funny. Like my mom teaches at the high school I went to, so going back and visiting teachers that I had, I'm like, I'm in the education field, and they're like, really, you who hated school? So reading is definitely one of those things that Wyatt and I do at the end of the day to bond together. So
it's great. So all right, we've went ahead and issued the spoiler alert warning.
So Loki is coming. Loki is coming.
There's no turning back now. As we know, Tom Hiddleston portrays Loki.
So good.
Just running through the list here. Owen Wilson plays Mobius, which
funny choice.
Yeah, very funny choice. Whenever I saw the trailer, I was like, is that Owen Wilson?
He doesn't really even look like Owen Wilson. So
they did a great job making him look old.
Really weird.
It's funny too because I was like, surely that's not how he looks these days. And sure enough, he looks about like he's always looked pretty much. So it was very. I guess it was the mustache, and the hair.
Jeff. So when Will asked, so I love Tom Hiddleston. I love Loki. I was more excited about Loki than any of the other Disney Plus, but I totally agree. I was watching this and I was like, am I on drugs? Like watching this, I was like, what is happening? But It was good.
Yeah.
Come on, Jeff.
Yeah.
It was good, wasn't it? You don't have to know what's going on to think it's good.
Yeah. So yeah, we had Sophia Di Martino as Sylvie, the female variant of Loki.
Had no idea who she was until this TV show. So
Gugu Mbatha Raw as Ravana Renslayer. Also, she's the judge there towards the beginning of the show. And she's kind of almost the main villain for the majority of the show, because she's the figurehead. There's the discussion of the timekeepers, and we see the statue of the space lizards is how Loki refers to them. And so, we see, essentially she's the face of the TVA. Mobius reports to her, and you hear that all the stuff's like passed down through her. What the timekeepers want them to do. I thought she was good, honestly. Wunmi Mosaku was Hunter B-15, and that's the Hunter B-15 was the lady that that Sylvie and the supermarket scene enchants. And then has her later on in the show. She's taken into captivity.
She's like the first one to realize, like, the TVA is not what they say they are. They're variants. So she was kind of the first one to start like questioning and thinking that Tom Hiddleston Loki was correct.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Lokis in this, so I'm just going to use Tom Hiddleston Loki, Loki. There's a ton of Lokis. So
we had Tara Strong voiced Miss Minutes, which
oh my gosh,
I feel like I need to get a Miss Minutes pin.
Yeah, Miss Minutes is the clock, like the orange clock. If you haven't seen the show or you've just seen bits and pieces, she's the orange clock, and she talks like this.
It's the best.
I don't know why they made her super Texan or Alabamian or whatever, but
accent.
It's the first time we heard her talk, we were like, what?
I loved it. It was so funny. Miss Minutes. Jonathan Majors played the character who we don't see until the season finale, He Who Remains. And so his name, I think, is Nathaniel Richards in the comics. He is a good variant. And basically, he sets up this whole dog and pony show of the TVA, because he's the one behind the scenes pulling the strings, keeping the timeline.
So he's like the puppet master of the whole TVA.
Exactly.
Which they don't know that until the very, very, very end of the season.
Yeah. And so it's very interesting. He's a bit of an overactor a little bit, but I think it wouldn't surprise me at all. I mean, if you're basically alone and you're trying to maintain time, I mean, granted, he's got these variants that are working for him in the TVA, but I could see how somebody that's isolated and has that much stress of quote unquote maintaining a tidy timeline could go a little bit crazy. And you can almost sense a bit of a sense of relief whenever he's approached by Loki and Sylvie in the season finale, because he knows everything that happens because he's at the end of time. He's maintaining the timeline. And so you kind of see almost a bit of a sense of relief where he's like, I don't know what's going to happen. And I'm sure that's a weird moment.
You can also tell that he probably has a sense of a relief that two people finally showed up as well. Because through the whole,
he kind of treats it like a game.
Yeah, he's very smiley and giggly and kind of like maniacal laughing. But I think some of it's a game to him, but then some of it's like, oh, there's actually people here. So he was a weird character.
Yeah.
That I was expecting to see somebody else as Loki and Sylvie opened those doors. I was expecting to see somebody we already knew. Like, I was like, oh, Thor's going to be, I don't know why I thought that, but it shocked me when I was like, who is this random guy?
Yeah, it gets into the weeds really quickly with this show. Especially when you find, I mean, all this talk of timelines, and keeping the timeline straight and making sure There's no Nexus events. And so it's just very interesting. And then you get to the end and, Sylvie does what she does, which is just interesting when you think about Loki's character.
I agree, though. Monarch moments is that Michelle. I don't know who it is typing, but Garrett. I agree that I think everything was so fast paced, and I was like, "Ooh, I'm ready for more. I'm ready for more. I'm ready for more." And then we got to the finale, and I was like, "That's it."
Yeah.
I was like, "Come on."
So I think in terms of the overall MCU, I think that this show has more impact on what we're going to see.
It does.
For the rest of the MCU. So yeah, Monarch moments. Garrett mentioned Kang the Conqueror was a total letdown. I think he's only a total letdown because that was the good variant of him.
We talked about that there's like, now we're entering, like, Spider-Man has these different universes.
Multiverse.
We have now entered like a multiverse.
Yeah.
And it's about to like kaboom.
Yeah.
So we even talked about, like, as we know, another spoiler, Captain America is old now, but we could possibly see him come back in another form in some way because of all of these different timelines that have now branched out. Yeah. So I'm interested to see where they're going to take it for sure.
So yeah, he who remains, who's a variant of Kang the Conqueror, a good variant of Kang the Conqueror, pretty much beat out. He was basically the eventual winner of the it escapes me, the timeline war. And so anyway, he's a science. He's very into science, and
that's right, Stacy. We looked that up.
Yeah,
he'll be in Ant-Man, the next Ant-Man movie.
Yeah. And so anyway, I think don't cut him a little bit of slack, because I think this is his good character that's a little bit crazy, because he's basically kept the responsibility of keeping the tidy timeline for who knows how long. And, he's basically isolated from what it sounds like. And so I think what we saw was good Kang. And whenever we see bad Kang, he's going to be even worse than Thanos, I'm thinking. So
because we've got it now that we've done the Thanos thing, the next realm of movies to come, we're going to have a villain.
Yep. So
I think this show was Marvel's way of saying, here it is, kind of use your brain and think of what's to come.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, we could go ahead and cut Jonathan Majors. He who remains a little bit of slack because he's the good Kang. I think Kang the Conqueror, whenever we actually do see the real true Kang the Conqueror.
Jeff's asking the same questions I asked through the whole show.
Yeah.
Who cares?
That's a good question. Why he doesn't care what the timeline looks like. I think he just wanted organization. He didn't want the chaos and the constant strife that comes with each of these different timelines fighting against each other. So yeah. So anyway, after Sylvie,
Jeff, if he didn't care, there wouldn't be a show, and then there wouldn't be more movies.
Yeah. But let's see. Oh yeah, Garrett, that's a great. Oh, that's funny. Garrett says, by the end of the series, I was like, oh, she is so sweet, especially the blanket part. Yes. So whatever. Garrett's talking about that moment in episode 5 where Loki and Sylvie are both sitting there talking, and she mentions being cold and not liking her outfit, and Loki conjures up a blanket, and then he extends the blanket over her, and they're kind of snuggled up a little bit. Hey, Tracy, welcome in. Great to see you, Tracy. But yeah, that was a cute little moment. Also a little weird.
Weird. I think it's weird to see Loki.
Yeah.
Like somebody. I don't know.
Yeah.
But Will knows. I've always been a fan of Loki, even from like the first Thor movie. I have always been a fan of Loki. I have always said in my head, yeah, he's adopted. Like, what person wouldn't be kind of mischievous, but have a good side too? I think deep down, he really is a good person. He just doesn't know how to control his mischievous side. But I think we saw that throughout the series. We kind of saw him look back on his life and see things and see what his life was supposed to be. And he realized, like, whoa.
Yeah.
Which I thought that's what I wanted to see with this.
And I'm so glad that Mobius pointed it out whenever he they determined what the Nexus event was, and Loki and Sylvie kind of falling for each other there in that scene on Lamentus. It was a great point in that he's like, how much of a narcissist can you be, falling in love with yourself? It's like, how weird is that? And so, I'm glad that they drew that point, because that's exactly what I was thinking too. I was like, of all the people Loki would fall in love with, it would be himself.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. But let's see, who else do we have here? Richard E. Grant played classic Loki, or old Loki.
I think they call him old Loki in the show, right?
Loved it. I don't know.
I think Loki actually said he was introducing them to Sylvie, and he said, that's old Loki.
So, I loved Richard Grant's Loki. I loved that basically the only reason he got busted by the TVA is because he got lonely and he missed his brother. And that scene in episode 5, Journey into Mystery, with all the Lokis, where he comes up with that distraction. Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad and Kylie, welcome in. When he comes with that kind of astral projection of what appeared to be Asgard, and you really get to see the extent of his power. If Loki was able to live that long, to be able to see the extent of his power and what he can do. We've seen, Loki uses powers in a certain way throughout the MCU. And so it's interesting that Sylvie has, kind of a bit of different power, different spin on it a little bit.
She even herself says it's more like a witchcraft type of power that she taught herself. So interesting. Yeah.
So Garrett says he doesn't really think that old Loki died by the what's it called? Alagoth. I had it in notes. I was trying to remember. Alioth. Alioth. I loved Richard E. Grant's Loki. We had Boastful Loki, who was wearing, I don't know anything about Boastful Loki, but he was kind of wearing a Wakanda-looking outfit.
Our cat and dog are fighting, so.
The Alioth, yes, the cloud dog, Jeff. Thanks for stopping by, Tracy. I appreciate it. He turns him in to President Loki, and then
I think that was my favorite
scene,
Loki.
That scene just completely was chaotic in every way.
With the Lokis everywhere.
The Lokis fighting each other. You've got Kid Loki and Alligator Loki. Which Alligator Loki? What even?
I don't even know.
I couldn't handle it. Whatever at the end of episode 4, the Nexus event, after the credits, you see Loki wake up and he sees the Loki variants. I had to pause it because I was like, okay, Kid Loki, I know about Kid Loki. I'm familiar with Kid Loki from the comics. And then, I saw classic, the classic looking Loki. Wasn't familiar with Boastful Loki. That was a new one for me. But the alligator, I was like, is that an alligator wearing the Loki hat? It was.
It was super weird. And you saw that it was like an end credit. Because they kind of left you hanging, and then you saw an end credit,
so Loki,
and then you were
Loki
like,
got pruned.
Huh?
Yeah.
You're like, what just happened? And so Will always likes to tell me how many times Loki dies because I love Loki so much, and he's always like, oh, Loki died again. But then I was like, Loki can't die. It's Loki's show.
Yeah.
So that's when they started showing all the different Lokis. So what was that at the end of 4? The end of the Nexus event? Yeah. It was super weird.
We had Jack Veal played Kid Loki, which I thought was cool. A flaming sword thing was really neat. I thought
they picked a really good kid to play.
Mhm.
I feel like if Tom Hiddleston, well, he was a kid at one point, but like I feel like that's maybe what he looked like in his younger years. Like it was a really good portrayal of what he could have looked like as a kid.
What? Okay. Stacy says alligator Loki was inspired by an actual support animal of an alligator. What?
So people use alligators as a support animal?
That is something else.
Because that would just jack up my stress level,
completely-
actually.
Man, I feel like that bit could only go so far. They're not going to let you on a plane with a support alligator. Surely
That's
not.
really weird.
But yeah, you see Kid Loki and Alligator Loki do get help as he throws Alligator Loki at one of the other Lokis during the fight scene. But just really funny. All the Lokis was just, it was like, what even is going on with all these Loki variants all seeing each other, number one, and fighting each other. It was funny to hear them sit around and talk about their Nexus events.
It'd be like sitting in a room full of 100 of yourselves.
Yeah.
Like it was weird.
But okay, here we go. Pam Sham says confusing in some parts was pretty good. My favorite one might be Dead Men Tell No Tales. So Pam had never,
I watched.
I was gonna say Pam hadn't watched Pirates,
Really?
and so we had tasked her with watching
Dead
the Pirates
Man's
movies.
Tell No Tales.
That's the last one. Dead Men Tell No Tales. Yeah, Captain Salazar.
I'm gonna tell you, the one that I don't like is the one with Penelope Cruz in it. I cannot stand that whole movie. But I would say the first or second are probably my favorite.
Yeah. Yeah. 1 through 3 are probably right up there with most excellent trilogies.
Yeah.
They're
really, they kind of lost it there at the end.
They get a little weird, but they're solid.
Okay.
4, I was 4, but 5.
I just find it, to me, with those kinds of things like the Haunted Mansion and how they're doing with the Jungle Cruise, I just find it so interesting how somebody's mind can just take a short 2-minute ride and turn it into a 5-movie trilogy.
Yeah.
Like that's weird.
Oh, I love it. Garrett says snakes on a plane are cool though. Tina says no alligators allowed on planes. TSA now limits support animals to dogs. I hope.
I can't have a support bird. Man.
But oh yeah, Pam Spam says there's going to be a number 6 without Johnny Depp.
Yeah, but I've heard that for years now.
We'll see.
I think Johnny Depp said he was done doing it, but I think it's going to be one of those things. Once he sees what's happening, he may be like, "Wait a minute."
It would be really hard.
I think it's a lot to do with what's going on in Johnny Depp's personal life too. A lot of people have dropped him.
Amber Heard.
Yeah, Amber Heard, who was his ex-wife or something, with abuse of allegations, which no one can prove to be true. A lot of people have dropped him in his even commercials have dropped him.
He was dropped from the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Yeah, he was, because there was the first movie, and then he was dropped on his part as the second one. Yeah, in the second movie. So we'll see though.
Yeah, we'll see. What is her name? She played. She plays Harley Quinn. Her name.
She has a really weird name.
Yeah. Somebody in chat can let us know. But I want to say she was rumored to play maybe the lead in a new Pirates film at one point. Her name 100% escapes me right now.
It's a different name.
Yeah. So let us know if you know who plays Harley Quinn in Suicide Squad and the other films that she's in. I can't believe I remember her name. Let's see. We had Jamie Alexander returned as Lady Sif, which I thought was pretty interesting, seeing as I don't think that we have seen Lady Sif in a Marvel film since The Dark World, I want to say.
And you pointed her out to me, and I couldn't even remember who she was, so it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. So yeah, it was cool, and her scene coming back was really funny in that where Loki gets stuck in the time loop, and he had just cut some of her hair. One side of her hair.
Yeah. So I first saw that actress. What's her name?
Let's see. It is
Jamie Alexander. I first saw her in when it wasn't Freeform. What did it used to be called?
ABC Family?
ABC Family. She was in a show called Kyle XY, which was super good. The cat just jumped on the table and shifted everything. So I'm Margot Robbie. That's it.
Margot Robbie. Thank you.
So yeah, the lady shift character, I first saw her and she pretty much played like a human that was made by a scientist. It was super weird. But she's a really good actress. I've only seen her in those two things. If anybody remembers Kyle XY, again, it's a really old show, probably 15 years ago now, 10, 15 years ago. But she's a really good actress, and I love her in Thor, and I liked how they brought back that loop scene over and over again for Loki.
That man, I could, it kind of makes you think for yourself. It's like, man, what moment would I get thrown into and just get stuck in a time loop and have to experience it as punishment? It's just so funny because Loki even comes to this point of great like self-realization and apologizes, and she still
does
hits
it.
him.
It's really, I think she thinks about not for a minute, but then she goes ahead and does it anyway. So it's kind of funny. Like, I think he figured out, wow, I was a jerk.
I can't get out of this thing.
Yeah.
So welcome in Anna Isabel and welcome in Elena. Great to see y'all.
And Mobius used that moment to punish him pretty much and get Loki to do what Mobius wanted him to do pretty much.
Let's see. We also had Sasha Lane as Hunter C-20. That's the hunter that was kidnapped by Sylvie, and then she gets pruned whenever she's trying to explain that they're all variants, and she was able to see like her old self. Like she said, I enjoyed. Was it margaritas? I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, weren't they were
like
sitting,
saw her friends.
Because they were sitting at a restaurant or something, and then I'm pretty sure that was it.
Stacey Rogers says Jamie Alexander is on a great show called Blind Spot. She's incredible on that show. Okay.
I think I've heard of that too.
Let's see. And then another one that went around as a meme was Eugene Cordero played Casey, the TVA agent that Loki threatens early in the show when he says he's going to gut you like a fish.
He's like, what's a fish?
Hey, what's a fish? And then he has to explain to him. He's like, you don't know what a fish is? He's like, well, I want to know what level of threat you're throwing at me before I give up. And so in the other,
he's also the one that takes Loki around the TVA, and then he finds the Infinity Stones in a drawer, and he was like, oh, we just use those as paperweights. And Loki was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, the full drawer of Infinity Stones. To him, it meant nothing, but to Loki, he was like, what? You have a whole drawer?
Yeah, that's practically, before the show, Thanos' whole deal was getting the Infinity Stones to pretty much be able to essentially be all powerful, basically. And so
I'm thinking in Loki's head, he's probably like, well, now I have a full drawer of them.
There you go. So those were the main actors that were in the series. The episode order, there were 6 episodes. We had Glorious Purpose, The Variant, Lamentus, The Nexus Event, Journey into Mystery, and For All Time Always. Which do you think would be your favorite?
So there's 6 episodes in this series that came out, but we got 8 when we saw Falcon and the what was it? I think there were 8 and the other 2 Marvel. So I thought this one was like shorter, but I don't really know which one was my favorite. I've only watched them once through, one episode, one time.
Back through to watch them.
But I think when so the first one, I feel like it picked up pretty fast, but the first one I was still like, what is going on? And then I looked at Will, and I remember saying,
So there were 6 episodes also in Falcon and Winter
Really?
Soldier. Yeah.
I felt like we got more content with the other ones, though. What about WandaVision?
Maybe the runtime was longer.
WandaVision, I felt like had 8, though. Did it not?
WandaVision had 9.
9. Okay,
episodes.
So WandaVision was longer, but I feel like WandaVision didn't pick up until what, like the 3rd episode, 3rd or 4th?
Yeah.
This one immediately hit the ground running with stuff. And I remember looking at Will and I said, Stan Lee like had to have been doing whatever the Beatles were doing when they wrote their songs, because I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And Will was like, well, it's not really completely from Stan Lee.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they've drawn off of content from various comic runs.
I think the first and second one, I was still like, what is going on?
Yeah.
But then like the third one, I was kind of like, okay, I get it. I still think in the second season, I hope that we get the background of the TVA agents. Like, who is Mobius? Like, we know that he came from somewhere. So who was he? He even mentioned like what, having a jet ski. Like he wanted a jet. So does he have a jet ski?
Yeah. Like, did he have a jet ski in his original life?
So I feel like in some way I wanted the characters to develop more, which in WandaVision we got the character and story development. This we got the story, but I still am like, I want more from the characters. So I don't know. It's kind of hard.
Yeah.
I don't think the 6th episode did it for me. I think I would have liked more. But 3rd, 4th, and 5th were really good. I feel like I craved more.
That is interesting when you put it like that, Pam. She says, my thoughts on the Infinity Stones were, my first thought was, we lost Gamora for Paperweight. Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, same thing with Black Widow too. But Garrett made a great point above, saying that now we can basically go and snatch a variant. And that was my thought process too, was whenever I talked with, I think you and my mom also about it, was you could potentially see, given the multiverse, I don't know the rules for the multiverse. I don't know how they're going to do it, but in my mind, you could potentially see a Steve Rogers, Chris Evans, Captain America fighting alongside the Captain America Sam Wilson that we now have. So it could get really interesting and really messy at the same time.
I guess the rules are there are no rules at this point.
Yeah.
We've kind of I think they figured out how to make a big mess of things.
Yeah. So what did you like the best about the show? Let us know in the chat if you had
let
a
us know
particular
all your
episode.
thoughts.
Yeah, let us know if you had a favorite episode,
even if
favorite moment.
Even if you didn't like the show, I want to know, because I don't think I liked the show in its entirety. Owen Wilson, his character still, like, I don't even know.
It's so funny. They have great chemistry.
I've only ever seen Owen Wilson just be a
goofball.
So I was like, but I felt like he kind of was a goofball, but kind of not at the same time.
Oh, he had plenty of funny lines.
I feel like the way he does his lips and the way he talks is like, he has something for the camera by the way he like move. I don't even know. He curves his mouth really weird. Again, love Tom Hiddleston. Will knows. I think they did it for me with Tom Hiddleston and Loki character. You kind of get to see him reevaluate his life, which is what I was wanting.
Yeah.
I was wanting him to sit down and really like take a deep look into his life. Everybody else, I mean, I have never seen the girl who plays Sylvie in anything else, so I don't really know how to compare her. Yeah. I think she was really, really good. I don't know how else to compare her. Yeah. I thought her, of course, you only see it like the first couple episodes because it gets destroyed, but her Loki crown hat horn thing, I thought was a really cute way of doing that, because like Tom Hiddleston Loki, his is bigger.
Yeah, reindeer games.
Hers is like right here with the little horns right here. And I thought that was actually really, really cute, which I saw, I think it was on Shop Disney. You can buy her or it may have been on Etsy.
It's probably on Etsy.
Somebody has made her version of the crown to wear. So I thought altogether, like, costuming was really great. I thought the stage design, setting design was super cool in a way that when you were at the TVA, I kind of felt like it was old school.
Yeah,
but not at the same time.
Mom said, she mentioned that too. She thought it was cool with like all the tape recorders.
It looked very 80s-ish.
Like that. Yeah, they made it look. They like mixed it and made it like new and old at the same time. And
I kind of like when they were at the TVA sitting down looking at the line on the screen, I felt like I was watching an old 50s sitcom at that moment. But I felt like some of the technology was more 70s and 80s vibes. But then their costuming was more today. So I thought that was really interesting. I watched a short interview with the girl who plays Sylvie, and I thought it was very interesting. She had just given birth when starting to film this show, and they actually fully designed her costume around her feeding her baby. So her costume has those lines in it. Those are actually zippers, so that she had that time to be with her baby and feed her baby in between sets. And I thought that was really cool on the casting or the costume designer, her part, to do something like that. Because, we've seen within the Marvel universe, a lot of these women have had babies or were pregnant while filming these movies. So I actually thought that was a really cool design. Again,
for sure.
Don't know what else she's been in, so maybe I should go look her up and see. But
so let's see.
Will probably wants to talk now because the women in his life do all the talking.
I did want to show off my variant of Loki. I've got the Marvel 10, the first 10 years Marvel Studios Loki gold chrome Funko Pop. I had him up in the closet. I don't get out my pops very often, but I figured I'd show him off. Since
if anybody wants a pop, though, drop your address right there, and I'll send it to you because he has about 1,000. So if you want a pop, just leave your address, and I'll send it to you.
Oh, that's funny. My Backyard Science, welcome in. Great to see you. Oh, yeah, Kenneth Oakes, you commented up above. Wanted to say thanks for listening in. But I want my MTV. Sorry, 80s flashback. Let's see here. So what else? Were there any moments you thought were really neat, other than the ones we've already talked about?
I don't know. I still have not. I don't know how I liked it like I thought I was going to.
Stacy,
do it. No. I will send you a whole box. Just back the U-Haul up. You can have them all.
Oh no!
They're in every closet of the house. I open a door. Oh, there's a pop. Oh, there's a pop in the closet. And they're everywhere. If we ever have another child, Will is gonna have to reevaluate his whole Funko Pop life.
Oh my.
I don't know. I thought
that was cool. So one scene that I liked a whole lot and thought was really neat was whenever they showed, they went back and looked at moments in Loki's life, and they showed him portraying D.B. Cooper from that true crime story. And it's so cool. Move them to my house, Will. Garrett. I'll protect your interest. Thanks. Appreciate the solidarity, Garrett. But whenever they said that Loki was D.B. Cooper and that he had lost a bet to Thor, and that's why he did what he did.
Oh, and I had never even heard of D.B. Cooper, which was weird because I'm so into the crime stuff and the weird vanishing stuff. So I had to go look up who D.B. Cooper was.
Yeah, and Heimdall, Heimdall and Thor snatch him with the Bifrost as he jumps out of the plane with the bag of cash, and so thought that was really cool. The moments of clarity and Loki realizing that he never, he's got these, delusions of grandeur. He thinks that he's going to rule. And he watches his life and realizes that for that his variant of Loki that never happens. That pretty much the reel runs out after Thanos chokes him out to death, and so
I think that's when he you could really see it in his face, like he reevaluated his whole life. Like he thought his whole life, I'm gonna be like king and I'm gonna rule, and then that's the moment he realized I was literally just born to play pranks on people, pretty much.
He never reaches
his potential or what goals. He thinks his potential is.
Yeah, and so it'll be interesting, especially after the show, and I've got that to talk about here in a minute. I think I've covered most of the other things. The Void was an interesting place. Let's see here. Oh, sorry about that.
Broke it.
I accidentally swiped, and I didn't mean to swipe.
He doesn't know how to use a MacBook.
Yeah, I did not mean to swipe there. But sorry about that. Hopefully, let us know if we're still here. Yeah, we are in the void now. It's a good one, Garrett.
That's Will's fault.
Yeah, sorry.
Will.
So yeah, moments I loved. The DB Cooper thing was cool. Let's see, the old Loki conjuring up the fake Asgard as a distraction. Thought I was blacking out. Sorry about that.
We blacked out. It's
okay. Let's see, Texas Internet. No, not Texas Internet.
No, everything's bigger and better in Texas. You didn't know that? Our internet's stronger.
So let's see what else. We still need to see Mobius riding a jet ski. Hopefully,
Will really wanted that.
Season 2 comes up with that. I was hoping there'd be an after credits scene of Mobius getting to ride his jet ski. But yeah.
Sometimes it's interesting to get a man's perspective and a woman's perspective on things, because I just am like, I want the feelings, and Will's like, I want to see the guy ride a jet ski.
So what's next in the MCU? Kang the Conqueror. We're thinking he's going to be the next Thanos level villain for the MCU to build towards.
So if you think of the movies, he could possibly be built into. Well, we know Ant-Man.
Yeah, he's going to be in Ant-Man 3.
Spider-Man, I don't know what they're going to do with Spider-Man to move forward, but I feel like they need to do something possibly with that. And then we have Guardians too. Mm-hmm. So you have all these different things to think about of
where he could show
up
and what variants of Kang we may even see.
And now we know, spoiler alert, Thor is kind of with the Guardians. So now we've kind of got all these overlays going on. So it's interesting.
So the other things to think about, what's next for Loki? He's back in the TVA.
And how do you get out of where you are back into your world?
Very strange. So what's next? Yeah, what's next for Loki? Does he try to take it over? Does he figure out what's going on with this? I mean, the thing we saw there at the end of the show was the 3 statues of the timekeepers were gone and replaced with the statue of Kang. So, and Mobius didn't even know who he was. So obviously, whenever Loki got kicked out of the Great Beyond, or whatever the area was called, where He Who Remains and Sylvie and he were, when Sylvie kicks him out of there and he goes back to the TVA, they don't even know who he is. So
it's like their memory's been wiped, but he still has his memory.
Yeah.
So it kind of leads you to believe Kang might have done something to their memories. It's kind of what you're already seeing what he can do.
Yeah.
So, the Fantastic Four, aren't they supposed to be aren't they supposed to be redoing that?
Yeah, they acquired Fox.
They acquired Fox.
Yeah.
And I think that's because they wanted to bring in what's Wolverine.
I'm sure they wanted all the content.
They want Wolverine.
Yeah.
Will knows how I feel about that guy.
Jillian's not a huge Hugh Jackman fan.
No.
I love Hugh Jackman.
I can't stand him, and I can't stand, unpopular opinion, The Greatest Showman. Guess what? It's not The Greatest Show, okay?
I love both.
Have you
I
seen
love
High
both.
School Musical? That's the greatest show.
Zac Efron is in both.
Well, people think Zac Efron's cute. I don't think he's cute either. I think he kind of looks like a robot statue. But unpopular opinion, I don't like Hugh Jackman. So Will has to go with my brother to see all the Wolverine things.
Yeah.
That's one thing. I'm out. But I am looking forward, Pam, to the Ant-Man movies.
Yeah.
Ant-Man and Iron Man are two of my favorite superheroes, but I think it's because of their humor. I feel like I have the same humor.
Yeah.
Like I understand where they're coming from.
All right. So I think that about wraps up everything for Loki. We're going to do some Disney news and the channel news, and then we'll wrap this thing up. Episode 4 of Monsters at Work is coming out tomorrow. We've
loved it.
Yeah, we've loved it. Wyatt, mainly and most importantly, has loved
it.
And the other thing that was funny too was Wyatt even knows the difference between Monsters Inc., Monsters University, and Monsters at Work now.
I'm telling you. I said something. Wyatt said a phrase, and I said, "Did you learn that from Monsters Inc.?" And he said, "No, mommy, it's not Monsters Inc. It's Monsters at Work." And I was like, "Whoa."
Yeah. And we tried Bluey, Garrett, and we didn't get very far with it. So I don't know if we need to.
We have friends that
going.
Watch Bluey, but Wyatt didn't even like it. So I'm not gonna waste my time if Wyatt doesn't want to watch it.
Yeah.
But I've heard it's good. It's not for me, I guess.
Yeah. So episode 4 of Monsters at Work comes out tomorrow. Episode 13 of The Bad Batch comes out on Friday. So looking forward to that. We've seen a lot of characters come in from other. So we saw Ming-Na Wen's character from The Mandalorian, Fennec Shand. We've seen Cad Bane. We've seen Hera from Star Wars Rebels. So we've seen a lot of characters from other Star Wars material show up in the Bad Batch show, and it's been awesome. I don't know when Obi-Wan starts, Garrett, but I'm looking forward to it because Obi-Wan is probably my favorite Star Wars
I wish
character.
Disney Plus had like what Netflix has where you can go into the like coming soon and then you can add it to your queue, because I do that in Netflix every now and then. I'll go through the like coming soon and I'll add it. I wish Disney Plus would do that so that it could notify you when the new stuff starts, so you're not thinking about it.
I would like that too. That's a good feature idea. Let's see. Stacy says Ray thinks Loki got sent to a different TVA, not the one at the beginning. Interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah, that's an interesting.
This next piece of news is super exciting. I'm sure everyone's heard by now, or maybe you haven't. I don't know. But rehearsals begin this week for the Monsters Inc. laugh floor in the Magic Kingdom. I think the last 2 times we've been to Disney. Super, super excited. Hi, Mike Wheeler.
Hey, Mike Wheeler. Great to see you. Jillian's back in the house, Mike. I know you've missed her. I wanted to say, hello, humans. So we are very excited for the laugh floor to come back.
Yeah, very excited. Will and I have talked about it because, they've brought back some things that are like the laugh floor. And I'm like, do what you do with like Rise of the Resistance. Put colored dots on the floor and colored dots on the seats and just tell people where to move in and where to sit. Like you get blue, you get yellow, you get red, and you sit with your family. But I know we've also talked about the fact that they've probably lost a lot of their employees and now they're trying to either bring them back or train new employees to take their spot. But I'm super excited about Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor. It's one more thing that can potentially cut down some of the lines in other places in the Magic Kingdom. So super excited.
Yes. Super excited. So hopefully we don't have a date yet, but
colored dots. See Monarch Moments, colored dots. It's just about the colored dots.
Yeah. Let's see. Trader Sam's Grog Grotto. The new menu reveals a new backstory for Trader Sam. So Grog Grotto reopened yesterday. Trader Sam's no longer listed as a head hunting salesman, but a wandering explorer bitten by the bug for magical libations, also known as drinks.
If you want to see that, I saw someone upload on YouTube the new ride through of it too, so I'm sure you can find it on YouTube as well.
Let's see here. Carthay Circle, a little bit of Disneyland news. Carthay Circle restaurant at Disney's California Adventures, reopening on Thursday, the 22nd. New menu has been released, and it removed the quote-unquote beloved biscuits and duck wings. So
it's exciting to see things open up at Disneyland.
Mhm.
I know that they were a little bit more restrictive due to the pandemic. They've had a lot of delay. So it's exciting to see them open up stuff, especially since it is more of a smaller environment. You need more of those things to start opening to get more people in.
Yeah. This next one Jillian wanted to announce.
Yeah, Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger spin. Oh,
whoa!
I can't read. Okay, so I'll just do both of them then. Timon and Pumbaa character statues are revealed for Animal Kingdom as part of the Disney Fab 50 at Walt Disney World. I think it's super cute. I have a coworker who's a huge Disney fan, and he was like, "Why Timon and Pumbaa?" And I was like, "Why not Timon and Pumbaa?" I don't know, but I think that bringing in those classic
50 characters,
those classic Disney characters, that's what we're looking for. So I'm like, woohoo! Like it's super cool to see them reveal these statues. So
we got Mickey and we have Timon and Pumbaa. I don't think they've announced any others.
I thought that they had. Mike Wheeler probably knows because he knows everything.
I just know Mike.
And so the next one is Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin, now closed for refurbishment at Magic Kingdom. It will be closed until Thursday. So I think Buzz Lightyear needs a lot of work.
Yeah, and I use a little TLC. I've seen streams on YouTube of other versions of the Space Ranger Spin.
And now that Toy Story Land is open, it kind of doesn't even make sense there to me anymore. So honestly, if they refurbed it to something else, I wouldn't really be mad about it, but it does need a good update. So Wyatt's excited about riding it, so I guess that's what matters.
Yeah. So looking forward to that. Let's see. Jungle Cruise, they removed the totem poles from the crocodile scene. Exterior work on the Tron light cycle, zooming forward with the external canopy covered with temporary blue netting, which is exciting.
And if you ride the People Mover, you can see the construction that's done on Tron, which I think is super cool. Goofy, that's it. Goofy.
Okay, there we go.
I knew that there was another one.
I didn't see that. Okay.
No, Mickey, I knew that there was another one, but I mean, come on. They're probably going to do
the whole
Fab 5, 6, whatever they are.
Sensational 6.
But I'm excited to see like the princesses that they do and other things like that. Like, are they going to go all the way to Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, or like where are we taking this? So that's kind of what I'm excited to see. But I knew that there was another one.
Yeah. You said the partner statues being refurbished.
Yeah. Okay. So actually, I read this today. The partner statue in front of Cinderella Castle at Disney World is being refurbished for the 50th anniversary. They have not shown any kind of pictures or concept of what that may look like. I can only imagine they're going to make it like a shinier gold to match the gold trim on the castle and the other characters that are gold that are coming out to match. That's what I can imagine they're going to be. I couldn't imagine them doing anything else, to be honest with that, other than giving it a really, really good, sleek shine and polish.
Yeah. Let's see here. After Hours. So the Disney's After Hours Boo Bash is now completely sold out for the month of October, which is insane.
And let us know if you even think that's worth it right now, because honestly, when we looked at that, I didn't even think that was worth it. I was like, I don't know what you're paying for. I really don't.
The hours don't go very late into the night.
No.
Like they have gone in years past. I don't think they're doing a fireworks show either. I believe I read that. If I'm wrong, as always, let me know.
Mike Wheeler says the partner statue is going to look just like the one at Disneyland.
Okay. Cool. All right. Sweet.
Shiny bronze. That's what I thought. I figured I was just going to give it a really good shine.
Yeah, Jillian said that before. Let's see here.
President Joe Biden was added to the Hall of Presidents.
Yeah, so that'll open next month.
And
so
it's
going to have new
closed.
props also, apparently.
I can only
don't know what that
imagine what they're
means.
going to have to do with Hall of Presidents, like 50
Yeah.
presidents
They
down
have
the
to-
road. Like, what are you going to
They'll
do?
have to create an upper deck.
Like, I can only imagine they're going to have tiny animatronics of, like, George Washington, but then, like, current presidents are going to be, like, huge just to fit everyone in
on the
there.
stage. Yeah.
So, he was added. So, is it shut down right now for
Yeah, I think so.
the
Yeah,
edition?
it opens for next month.
Opening next month?
I wonder what the new props are.
I know.
Who
I don't.
knows?
Honestly, it's been like probably 4 or 5 years since
Yeah.
I was even in there, so I couldn't even tell you anything about it.
Yeah. A Moana dipped Dole Whip
Whip
cone is available at Pineapple Lanai at Disney's Polynesian Resort for a limited time. Let's see what else. Disney is hiring performers to play Eternals characters Kingo, Cersei, and Fastos inside Avengers Campus.
We don't know who those are.
No idea who those are.
So if you know who that is, let us know.
Yeah. Let's see here. What else? Old Disneyland, or old other Disney news. Disneyland celebrated its 66th anniversary on July 17th. The festivities for Walt Disney World's 50th anniversary begin on October 1st and will last 18 months.
Is it? And that's when Remy comes out too.
Yes.
Is that opening day
Yes.
of Remy Ratatouille?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I really don't. I'm not a Ratatouille fan, but I'm honestly super excited to ride
That's a good
the Remy ride.
Yeah.
They will be holographic. That's true. Mike Wheeler said there's room for 100 animatronics on that stage.
All right. We got some time.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Sweet.
We got
room then.
We'll probably be dead when
Yeah.
they add all those on. So
let's see here. Channel news. Mom put up a movie review.
Stacy said, who are they casting at Avengers Campus?
They are looking to cast Kingo, Cersei, and Fastos.
Which are Eternals
characters.
characters. I really, honestly, my brother probably knows who they are. I have not a clue.
Yeah, I'm unfamiliar with the Eternals.
Not a
Looking
clue.
forward to the movie. Hopefully they'll be able to explain some of that. But apparently they're super duper powerful.
I mean, they cast, like, we know who Loki is, but they had him walking around Avengers Campus in the attire he wore for his show before the show came out. So they're probably, I mean, they had Luca merch out before the movie came out. So they're probably just trying to gain interest.
I wonder if at Disneyland at Avengers Campus, you know, they've had the classic Loki with the horns, reindeer horns. They've had the variant Loki.
Are you about to ask about the alligator?
They've had well, I should, but they've had the kind of prisoner outfit Loki,
the orange jumpsuit.
Yeah, and then they've got President Loki as well.
Yeah,
I'm wondering if at Avengers Campus you're going to see all the variants walking around at the same time potentially.
They're gonna get an alligator animatronic.
I can only hope that we somehow at Avengers Campus see alligator.
An alligator.
But channel news: the new Black Widow movie review. Mom did. I also watched Black Widow. Jillian didn't see it. I went with my brother-in-law.
Really could care less. So
it was a good movie.
Do I need to see it to see what's coming next? That's all I care about.
Not necessarily.
Exactly. Like Captain Marvel, I don't even think she needs to be in a movie.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't want to waste my time.
Yeah. Not necessarily, unless these characters are introduced and you know are incorporated into future movies.
I have heard that possibly the girl who plays her sister,
Yelena Belova,
could be in other things, but I'm like, cool, I know she's her sister. Let's move on.
Her sister's awesome. But I enjoyed it. It's worth seeing. And whenever it comes out for free on Disney Plus, we'll pop some popcorn.
I'll think about it.
We'll have a date night.
Okay.
Whenever it comes out.
We date night at home.
Yeah. It's Disney Plus has been great for that.
See, alligator Loki seems like a Florida thing. Let's just go round up an alligator that's down there
that's funny.
And bring him to Disney.
Let's see. YouTube Shorts. Jillian posted shorts of the Scentsy Mrs. Potts warmer.
And Chip plug-in.
Yeah.
And I also posted a short last Tuesday of the cars. So Mrs. Potts and Chip are sold out. I don't know if they're going to come back, but the cars warmer, I believe they're still warmers left. But as they've said, I'm a Scentsy consultant, and Scentsy has now partnered with Disney, and there's a lot of interesting information circulating about Scentsy and what they could be doing. We've heard a rumor speculate that they are going to have their products in all of the like Disney hotels and stuff. So that's what I've heard. I know that they're going to start selling them in the parks too, certain objects in the park. But the thing with the Disney products is Disney is very secretive about what they're bringing out and when they're taking them away. And they just partnered with Harry Potter as well.
Yeah.
So we could potentially see a lot of Universal stuff come out now too. But the Disney stuff is by far some of the best quality work, cutest stuff. The attention to details is amazing.
Yeah.
Like Wyatt has a Mike Wazowski Scentsy buddy, and the zipper on the back has a sock on it.
As the pull.
As the 2319.
Yeah.
So the attention to detail is amazing, but that's the thing. They sell out like that.
Yeah.
And most of the time, they don't bring them back. The only products they've brought back are some of the Mickey and Minnie designs and Winnie the Pooh Bear.
And they bring back Star Wars stuff on May the 4th.
On May the 4th. So we actually have the R2-D2 Scentsy warmer that displays Princess Leia on the wall where she's, "Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope." It's that is displayed on the wall. And actually, that one is still available on the website.
Ooh, okay. Mike says, I know they're going to have a shop in Fantasyland.
That's what I thought.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know how they're going to sell things because you have to be a consultant, but I'm assuming whatever's bought in the park, 100% of the proceeds will go to Disney. I'm not super high up, but I'm high enough to where 50% of the proceeds go to me. 50% go to Scentsy and Disney. So if you're looking at a warmer and you're like $85 for a warmer, why? It's because I have to get the profit, Disney has to get the profit, and so does Scentsy. So that is kind of the downfall of partnering. Yeah. But like the Harry Potter warmer I pre-ordered, the details on this are so amazing. It blows me away. So my Scentsy page is jbone18.scentsy.us. Will's going to drop it into the chat. Anything that you need, everything's on that website. Whether you ship it to you or now they do local pickup, which is a little bit cheaper, but you do have to drive to go get it. So that is always an option if you're super close by. You can go pick it up locally or you can have it shipped to you. Yeah. But so anything you need, follow them on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and follow me, and you will see all of that. Yeah.
Those videos are neat seeing, being able to see those. Let's see, Christmas in July. We're celebrating Christmas in July on the Hitchhiking Bones YouTube channel. So keep an eye out for any Christmas-related content we may be releasing between now and the 25th. Let's see here. As I said, Mom and Kylie, we mentioned earlier in the show, Mom and Kylie did a live stream from the park. Disney World Magic Kingdom yesterday. So if you haven't, checked that out.
And in it, they ride the People Mover, so you can see the Tron construction. So I thought that was really cool. We also have go up. What did that's? I'm sorry. Liberty Tree Tavern dining review was posted. Yeah, that posted. We went in November? Is it November of last year with your mom for her birthday, and we ate at Liberty Tree Tavern, and it was like the week before Thanksgiving. Did we go? Or a couple weeks before? Yeah. And so they were serving like the Thanksgiving meal. Yeah. And I hear you, Mike. I know, Mike, but you help me. So the reason they're expensive though is because literally the details are incredible. Yeah. But you don't burn the wax. Yeah. You melt the wax. And the reason I use them is because Scentsy is really big about your house and what the candles do to your walls and your door frames.
Mhm.
When you burn a candle in your house, the overall long-term effect of it is it starts to turn your walls and your white door frames black.
Mm.
And I can attest to that because when we moved out of our apartment, black. Because I burned candles in our apartment every now and then just to get like that instant smell.
Yeah.
And the door frames were black. So that's why I like Scentsy. Scentsy doesn't just make the warmers though. Like I use their bath products and they have shampoo for dogs and cats. So they even have laundry detergent. And I use it for Wyatt's stuff because it has no chemicals added in it. So that's why I like it. They have so many things that you don't even think of. So
all right.
That was a little side note. That was my train derailing.
It's a good thing to know. There you go. Mike says, let me know when they come out with the Olaf one so I can pre-order it for me. LOL. That's the only one I'll pay $85 for. All right.
You know, that would literally be the cutest one. I can see it now.
Adorable.
Like that would be so cute.
Yeah.
I can see it. I'm down.
They did release some Frozen 2 scents.
They did. They released some Frozen scents. And like
they smell really good.
They do smell good. Yeah. They were in like a big box that really like twisted open and you.
Top was a snowflake, right?
Yeah, the top was a snowflake and it like twisted open. It was super cute.
Yeah,
so
it was cool. All right, so we're wrapping this thing up. Some miscellaneous channel announcements. Be sure to check out our partner channel, Monarch Moments. Michelle and Hannah and Gabe and the man behind the curtain, Garrett. Great channel. We love Monarch Moments. Love all of y'all. We appreciate the support. A lot of great channels in the chat. Make sure to check out the other channels that are here in the chat. Also want to give a shout out to theliveplace.com. It's a website that basically a TV guide listing for family friendly content and streaming. Also check out Dean's YouTube channel, Dreamers Empire. Thanks to everyone for ghost watching. Those that will watch on #Team Replay. Those that were in the chat. Also huge shout out to our mods. We appreciate y'all. Have a good night, Tina. But I want to mention TubeBuddy. If you're a YouTube creator and you want to get some additional insights, like tags to use, keywords to use in your titles, gives you insights into information like that to help you see trends and things like that too. So the basic version is free. You can upgrade to a paid version if you want to. That's what we ended up doing. So check that out. Let's see, Stickermule. We've had people ask about our buttons and our stickers. We use Stickermule for buttons and stickers. If you want good quality, low cost promo items, please use our sticker.
Our buttons are pretty big too. They're not like the small ones. They're the pretty big buttons.
And you can get both. We've ordered both, and they're both excellent.
They're both really good quality. So we have them on our backpacks when we go to the parks.
Yeah, and we pass them out too.
Pass them out.
But we've got a link in the description below. We both get a $10 credit if you decide to use that link. So check that out if you're looking into that. Want to thank again everyone for being here. Shout out to Aunt Susan and Aunt Joy for always supporting us. Shout out to Jillian who's on stream here tonight.
I've been really busy, guys. I'm sorry. I know told y'all, I don't know, probably a couple months ago, I started my teaching certification and I'm still doing that. But I also started back at school for criminal justice. And so I've been really busy with that. And I'm working summer camp this summer. And I'm actually one of the main people leading the whole camp, like running the camp. So I honestly have just been like, I get home and I just want to be alone. So I've been watching, but like ghost watching and sometimes popping in, but I'm kind of busy. Yeah.
So yeah,
I miss it, but
thanks
I'm
for joining
busy.
in. Yeah,
so
it's been great to have you on the show tonight.
I didn't want Will to have to
everybody's glad
talk
see you
for
too.
an hour and a half by himself because I know that's super hard for him. So I thought that I would totally just jump in.
Yeah.
And yes, Mike, Dawn,
Yeah,
Jeff, and
thanks.
Kylie are still driving home.
Yeah.
I don't know where they are currently.
Yeah. Not sure where they landed.
Not sure where they landed.
They're still en route.
They probably won't tell you either because we're kind of famous, so we don't want people flocking them. So we may not tell y'all where they are either. But yes, they're still on the road after their trip.
Yeah.
So
no problem, Debbie. We're just glad you're here. But yeah, shout out to Kylie and our other family members that support us too. Shout out to the Turkey Legster, Francisco, Debbie Burnfeld, Mickey Sidings, Disinfinity, Monarch Moments, AJC Magic TV, Eric Lee, Ford Man, aka Kenneth Oakes, This Is Our Dream, Pam's Fam, Adventures by D, Stacy Rogers, Jonathan Chong, Tina DCS, Tracy Glenn, Kinsey Day's Dad, Elena K808, Anna Isabel Zizik, My Backyard Science, Mike Wheeler, Dad Builds, and J&N Travels. So thanks to everybody. And those that watched in Ghost Mode as well, and those that are watching the replay, let us know if you're watching on the replay. And as always, if you're watching in Ghost Mode, feel free to hop in anytime and say hi so we can thank you properly for supporting us. We appreciate it so much.
They're in a car on the road in a state in the United. We hope.
Yeah, you may have.
Who knows?
You may have hit the nail on the head there.
They could have driven all the way to Mexico. Who knows? We don't know where they are.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Because you never know when we're going to post a short or a video of a trip review.
Or go live. From the parks.
From the parks. Yeah, apparently we do that now.
Yeah.
Don't expect that a lot from us. So
we're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, or you can email us directly at thehitchhikingbones@gmail.com. Feel free to reach out anytime. We go live every Tuesday night at 9 o'clock p.m. Central, 10 o'clock Eastern. Be sure to join us live or watching the replay. Remember, if you can dream it, you can do it. And I think, actually, was there something else? Wasn't going to show anything.
It's from the Disney store.
Yeah.
Oh. All right, guys. So
just real quick. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I know that they have been announcing a lot of stuff about Disney stores closing, but we still have the Disney store here in Grapevine, Texas, which is, 20-minute drive for us. So we still have that. I know Dawn got the Haunted Mansion gargoyle ears for me, and I'm super excited to wear them.
And the ears.
Yeah, I said the ears. Yeah, I'm super excited. And she got her ears too.
Have a good night, Mike. Have a good night, Pam.
Our store is still open. It's an outlet store. So we get a lot of merchandise from Disneyland, the actual park, like park merch from Disneyland, especially during the COVID pandemic. We got a lot of stuff in that store. And so I will go ahead and show you. This is something that I wanted when it came out. But paying that much money for a Spirit jersey literally is like a dagger in my heart. But I got, Will got it for me, the Chinese New Year Spirit jersey. So it says Happy New Year on the back. It has Minnie Mouse. And we actually,
James Ryan, welcome in. Great to see you.
We actually have the Minnie and Mickey New Year plushes. But this jersey was originally, I don't know, because the price is on the actual thing. But we got it for $55.98. I'm sure that's what, I think this one was on sale for $75.
Yeah, I think it was originally $74.
So I think we got a pretty good deal on this. I would have liked it to be a little bit cheaper, but Will bought it for me, so thanks, Will. Yeah, it was 70 something. So. And then I had to get these because I saw them in the parks. And again, park merch is there. But this is actually Disneyland park merch, or Disney World. Sorry, Disney World. Happily ever after. I got my socks. I don't really like socks, but I liked these socks. So
very cute.
Tomorrow's Disney Day at work, so maybe I'll wear them to work. Again, they were $11.99. They don't have the price on them because they came from the park, so they were probably labeled something different. But I can only imagine that they were on sale quite a bit. And then I had to have this for Wyatt. This was $7.99, originally $19.99. It is the Graveyard Jamboree, the Phantom 5 So again, super good deal on this shirt. It happens to be his size, so we snagged it. So super exciting. It goes along with the book that we're reading to him, so he knew what it was. He was really excited. So
let's see here, and I have some pins that I got. So I had to have this pin here. It's limited release.
you can't see.
Yeah, I'll break it in here in a second. It says Skipper Frank Wolf at your service.
They have Disney Day a lot because they know that I only come to work for the Disney days.
I got this Jungle Cruise pin. It says Skipper Frank Wolf at your service. It says Jungle Cruise, and also has the skipper's wheel on the boat from the boat of the Jungle Cruise. And so you better believe I'm going to go see the Jungle Cruise in theaters when it comes out later this month.
His boyfriend's in the movie, so he's got to go see it.
Man crushes in the movie, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. But yeah, I got this pin at the Disney store. And my steal of the day is this set of 6 stockings. 6 Christmas stockings for various characters. You got Pluto, you got Daisy and Donald, I believe. But this is 6 Disney pins for $9.99. Originally $24.99. So got a solid deal there. So I was really impressed. And the other thing too is I like these pins, but they're not my favorite. And so I think it's good to have for traders, which is what I bought them for. So I'll be looking to trade these in the parks whenever we hopefully go.
We're taking Wyatt to this next time that we go. So we have him like a little trading pin set. So something for him to do when really lines are long. So hopefully we can get some really cool pins from trading those. So
hey, welcome in the Mickey Bunch. Kelly, great to see you. Great to see James Ryan as well. Great to see both of you together at Disneyland. That was fantastic. Let's see, hands full, heart full. Welcome in. Great to see you too. We were just closing down shop, and then remembered we had to show off our purchases from the Disney store.
All this Disney store merch.
Yeah.
So it's we enjoy that the Disney store is still near us. They're the Disney outlet. The other Disney store that's close to us in Irving, I believe, closed its doors last week, and so it's really sad. Will and I have talked about that. Shop Disney just doesn't do it for us. Like, it's cool that you can buy that stuff, but it's fun to take Wyatt to the Disney store. Like, he goes, I want to go to the Disney store. Yeah. And so I'm going to miss that if and when they do close down our outlet. So
yeah, I'm really hoping that our outlet doesn't go away. The other thing too is their e-commerce is not to the point where we'd like for it to be. You don't get the Amazon style experience in that.
Sometimes it takes 4 weeks to get stuff in shipping too, and I don't. A long time sometimes. Again, Amazon, it's like it's at your door before you even know you want it. Exactly. That's kind of what you need from Disney, and sometimes you don't get that. Yeah. So or things are sold out. Yeah. And you can't get it. Yep. So
there have been so many issues with site traffic. Yeah. Like May the 4th, all that merchandise is always tough to get.
But we can find it in our outlet store weeks after the fact. So
weird. So anyway, we love our Disney store. Hopefully
I feel really bad for the cast members too, because Disney as a whole probably lost a lot of cast members during COVID, and now you're going to turn around and close the Disney stores. Yeah. I feel like that I don't know, your staff members, that's their one way to work at Disney without living in Florida or California.
Yeah, exactly. There is a cast member at our Disney store, and
they're always the same people too, so you build that relationship with them.
We know when they're going on trips. They know when we're going on trips. And there's a lady that's worked there for over 10 years now. And so I think she gets the perk of being able to go into the parks.
I think she said at one point she was a vacation club member, and she held an annual pass too. So I'm really hoping we don't lose our Disney store. I haven't checked the news recently to see if they're on the potential chopping block, but really hope we never lose our Disney store, because again, it's a way for us here in the middle of the country to get a taste of Disney.
since we can't go into the parks all the time.
The thing is, too, is like, what are they going to do with all that overflow merch? Like the other day, we saw some stuff that said Disneyland 2017.
Yeah.
No one is going to go to Disneyland and buy 2017 merch when you can buy 2021 or 2022 merch.
Yeah.
So again,
I saw a set of pins from 2019.
I would buy it for $5, which we have before.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to go to Disneyland to buy it for full price with the wrong date on it.
Yeah.
So you kind of got to think, where are they going to sell that overflow merch now?
Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, places like the Character Warehouse still exist. You've got, I don't know what they'll do.
I don't know either.
I don't know if
like I've gotten this Spirit jersey there. The blue ears that I was wearing at the beginning of the stream, they were like $15-$16 at the Disney store. So it's stuff like that. Like I'd always wanted those blue ears, but I didn't want to pay $30 for them. Yeah. So I bought them there. Yeah. So again, our train derailed, but it was for good reasons.
We were just about to call it a night, and we got
so you're welcome. You got an extra 10 minutes of us.
There you go.
You're welcome.
Yes. All right. I think that's all we've got.
I think that's
It's been great having you back on the stream tonight, honey. I've had a lot of fun. It's great talking about Loki. So again, we go live every Tuesday night at 9 o'clock p.m., 10 o'clock 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, ring the bell. That way you get a notification when we go live. And I think that's all we got. I hope everyone has a wonderful week. Remember, at the Hitchhiking Bones YouTube channel, there is always room for one more. So
hurry back. Bye.
Have a great week, everybody.